Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Tanner and this is paintingstartup.com. I am super excited you guys decided to join me here. In today's lesson, we're going to kind of go over the evolution of your residential painting company and some different types of ways to run a painting business and the pros and cons of doing so. So let's jump right in here. One of the most common ways of running a painting business is the one-man army way. This is essentially you just painting by yourself, doing everything, There's definitely some pros and cons with this, but more cons, of course, than pros. I'm going to outline them here. So with pros, there's very low overhead when you do it this way. Your only expense is what you pay yourself, and of course the paint and materials that you use, which obviously will allow you to charge pretty low prices and maybe win some jobs, especially in the beginning. You have complete 100% control of everything that happens in the business, so really nothing that you didn't do gets done, so there really shouldn't be too many mistakes unless you make them, of course. One job per week will keep you busy. That's right, one job a week will keep you busy. Typically you're looking at 2 to 3 days per job, maybe 2 jobs a week, but it'll keep you afloat for the month, which especially if you're working at a job right now and you're wanting to paint on the weekends, kind of start your painting business as like a side gig, definitely doing it this way does work. It just may take you a little longer to get the job done. Cons. Burnout is inevitable, so if you're making painting your 100% thing right now, doing painting by yourself, painting a house by yourself will eventually burn you out. There's really not much room for growth. Unfortunately, you're going to be trying to do estimates and painting and, working on marketing and kind of trying to tie up all the loose ends, by yourself. It definitely gets overwhelming. Jobs, they take way too long. So typically, a homeowner wants you in there no more than 3 days, depending on the size of the job. But if you're doing it by yourself, you're probably not going to take that big of a job anyway. So we want to kind of keep the homeowner in mind when it comes to getting the jobs done as quickly as possible. And this could inhibit you greatly by doing them by yourself. And larger projects are a lot harder to take on if you're painting by yourself because you're painting by yourself, so it kind of gets overwhelming if you pull up to a really big house and they want the whole thing painted. Definitely harder to take on. So the next type of painting company is the two-man crew. So this is you painting with another employee. 2 times production speed, and here's a huge pro here is the ability to estimate during the day while he or she is continuing the production that's going on. This is huge. Now you're kind of putting yourself in 2 places at one time. You're getting the production done and you're out there selling. You create this kind of dependability and accountability when you work with another person. So this person knows that you're out finding work and you know that this person is producing the job, which is a great start to creating that teamwork. And especially if you work with someone, you can hands-on teach them all the standards and principles that you want to implement in your business, which is great. You can really get a hands-on feel of who you're working with, again, some of their strengths, of course their weaknesses, and you can kind of build off of those 2 things. Some cons when you work this way is minimal growth. Again, you're really still not able to stretch your wings out and grow your business. And of course, larger jobs still become an obstacle. So you and another person, your job time is kind of not ideal yet, but you can still do more than you could obviously by yourself. And you're still not creating that team atmosphere at this level yet because, inevitably, the person next to you is going to be like, he's making all this money and I'm doing all the work. So we want to get that team atmosphere together as quickly as possible so those conversations don't come up. The next thing is the team of 3, and this is one of my favorite stages of the painting business. That's you and 2 other employees. So some pros here, decent production while you're estimating. You can schedule 2 or 3 estimates during the day and know that your jobs are still getting done. So now your focus becomes finding your team as much work as possible, which is definitely a motivating factor. And this is what really helped my business skyrocket is I was so concerned with finding work for my guys that it really pushed me to go out and do so. the ability to stand back and watch production in a more managerial role, this is huge, So I remember the first time this happened, I had Colton, he's my now supervisor, started as a $10 helper, now the supervisor of my company. He was with another guy, and I was able to leave the job for the day. I had doctor's appointments, I had a ton of things I had to do, and he got the job done with the other guy. I came back, checked the job, and collected the check. And it was just one of those aha moments, like, wow, this thing's really working. And, if you're going to shoot somewhere and you're not currently at this stage, this is the stage you want to get to, because it's a great way to see how this whole thing unfolds. If you have a quality painter, in my case, I trained Colton, again, being able to work side by side with somebody and train him to the standard that I wanted the jobs done. You can step back and they paint while you oversee. The ability to point your best painter in charge. So Colton, again, showed up on time, willing to learn, good attitude, all these great attributes that you want to filter out in the beginning. And of course, in the course, I'll show you guys some of the ways I do so. But Colton met all those standards. So what I did was I put him in charge. I said, hey, you're the supervisor. You're in charge of the other employee we had at the time. And I just want, the job to be done, the right way. And he did a great job. Your job time becomes better now that it's you and 2 employees. If you get a bigger job, you can jump in with the guys and help them out. Never be afraid to grab the brush. That's a huge point in growing a successful business, is you want to be as much involved as the business as you have to be, just in case someone pulls out or you need to step in. You don't want to be in a position where you can't, match that level of production. Some cons, again, larger jobs, still an obstacle. You may get that phone call of someone wanting a big job done, and it always hurts to say no. Nothing too crazy big, but just, something that would require a little more help. So we still want to focus on growing that team up just a little bit more. And we're still not quite at a team atmosphere yet, but we're definitely getting there. So that leads us to the sweet spot, the core 4. This is what you guys are going to be learning about, how to really get to this point. And once you guys get to the core 4, it's you plus 4 employees. This is what I call the sweet spot. When I had 4 employees, this is where it was the aha moment, the biggest one of them all. I was like, this is how it's supposed to go. No one was burnt out. We had incredible production speed. I was able to oversee, communicate with my production manager from afar. There were jobs that I didn't even go to, and he collected the check, deposited it. I called the homeowner. Everything was great. You no longer have to paint at this point. It's up to you if you do. You may want to go and do some touch-ups, or you can paint if you'd like, if you got to get a job done, but it's not a necessity. And of course, we have an amazing team atmosphere. Some more pros is our ability to expand if you wish. We can focus on customer service to the most extensive point possible. Follow-up emails, text messaging, hey, how's it going? All these little tiny things that we couldn't do because we were in our business, we can now focus on outside of our business. The ability to project job time, schedule way more efficiently, because you know what your team can do. So there's times where, I'll do an estimate. I think at this point right now, we're about 3 to 4 weeks out. I'll do an estimate and know, hey, my guys can get this job done in 3 days. I can book out 3 days for my guys to get the job done. And it makes the whole estimating and scheduling thing super easy. And of course, I'll go over that with you guys in the course. And the ability to assign leadership roles. So, Colton was immediately assigned the supervisor role. I brought in another guy, Chris. He's able to do part-time sales and then come back and paint. So you're giving your team a sense of accountability and a sense of leadership, which in turn just really stems right back into the homeowner and the experience that you create. So I hope I was able to kind of outline some different ways to run a painting company, and definitely a vision on how you guys can get there. I'm super excited to help you guys out. I really want to see nothing but success from anyone that jumps in the course or even watches a couple of these videos. If you guys have any questions at all, please reach out to me. The email is at the bottom of the page. Any questions at all, I'd be so happy to help you grow your business, the right way. And the painting business is such an awesome business to be in. It's provided so much freedom and all sorts of amazing benefits in my life. So my passion is sharing it with you. So again, if you have any questions, let me know. The idea is to get to the core 4, and even if you just want to reach out to me and tell me what stage you are in your business, and I'd love to hear about it. So again, let me know, paintingstartup.com. I look forward to seeing you guys in the course. Thank you for your time.